So now we'll go on to the fourth characteristics of language. So here we have got this one, that is language exhibits structure. So what actually means by language exhibits structure is, so every language has its own structure, meaning that you cannot combine the sounds as you like it. So for example, if you take English language, you have almost 44 speech sounds, and those 44 speech sounds, they combine in a particular manner so that it forms a particular morphemes or words. And again, those words you have to combine in a particular manner, a principled manner, in a grammatical manner, so that the words combine and they are framed in the form of a sentence. And again, when various sentences are put together in a particular principled grammar, those sentences will combine and make a paragraph. So this is what they mean by language exhibits structure. So for example, if you look here, you have the sounds here, p, and this one is called as a, and this one is t. So p, a, and t. This one is p, a, and t. So these are three phonemes. So these three phonemes combine to make a morpheme or a word. And morpheme or a word is nothing but a meaningful unit. Okay, do you understand? So here, as I show with a pencil, so this is actually p. The sound is p, and this is a, and this one is t. So these three phonemes combine together to make a morpheme. So morpheme is nothing but a meaningful unit, and altogether they make a word, and that word is here pat. Okay, and similarly they have given two other examples. So as you can see, this is again, the sound here is a, p, t. Okay, so these three are again three phonemes, and these three phonemes combine to make a morpheme. And morpheme is nothing but, as I told you, a minimal meaningful unit. Okay, and again you get a word, and that word is apt. Again, one more example they have given, the third one. So what you have here is t, the sound t, and then a, and then p. Okay, so these three phonemes combine together to make a morpheme. Okay, that is a minimal meaningful unit. And these phoneme, t, a, p, they are actually minimal sound units. Okay, so these three sound units together make a morpheme, and as a result you get a word, and that word is tap. So these three examples are at the level of words. So at the level of words itself, language exhibits a particular structure. Again, the words combine together to make a sentence, as I told you. Okay, so at the level of sentences also, language exhibits structure. For example, here they've given two examples: Meera loves Venu, and then one more example: Venu loves Meera. So these two sentences, even though they have the same words, but the arrangement of words will give you different meaning. You can understand what is the meaning of the first sentence: Meera loves Venu. Okay, Meera only loves Venu. They didn't talk about Venu's love for Meera. Whereas in the second sentence, Venu loves Meera, here you understand that Venu only loves Meera, and Meera, whether she loves or not, it has not been explained. So this is what they mean by language has structure. So by changing the structure of a sentence, the meaning of the sentence will also vary. So to sum up this characteristic that language has structure, so the first three set of examples stands at the level of vocal sounds. Okay, so where you have the three sound p, a, and t, and they combine in a different manner in three words. I mean, they give a three set of words. Okay, so p, a, t, you have in other two words also the same sound p, a, t, but the way they have combined, that alone differs, and altogether they give three different types of words, that is pat, apt, tap. And here at the level of sentence, you have the same three words, Meera loves Venu, but the way they have combined gives you two different set of sentences. And this type of characteristics of language, no, that is language is structured, it is actually termed as the duality of structure by Charles Hockett.